So now in this video for the Accelerated Geometry Mach 3 review, I'm going over numbers 12 to 23. So starting here with number 12, we're focusing on here, this representing a flower bed, and we're looking for the total area. Now we're not going to multiply x plus 1 by x plus 2, right? But we know that each of these pieces represent x plus 2. X plus 2. So really, what we are multiplying in terms of this width here by x plus 1 is 4x plus 8. Now we're just going to multiply. You can FOIL or you can set up that box method and multiply. So here, when multiplying and combining like terms, that's how you end up with the area of 4x squared plus 12x plus 8. So now in number 13, we have these two square gardens here. So we have two square gardens that are surrounded by a rectangular walkway around them. So now this whole rectangular walkway has the dimensions of 3m plus 5 and 2m minus 1. Now, the question, though, is asking what is the area of the walkway around the two gardens. So we don't want the area of the whole thing, right? We don't want the area of this entire rectangle, which is 3m plus 5 times 2m minus 1. Now, we still need the area, right? But then what do we have to do? Well, we need to take out the areas here from the two squares, right? So if you recall, if this is m and m, well, m times m is, because that's area, right? Multiplying length times width, m times m is m squared. M times m squared. So we're going to find the area, right, of this entire rectangular section, but then take out the two square gardens, which means what do we do mathematically? Subtract the 2m squared. So here you can FOIL or you can do box method, right? So again, 3m plus 5 times 2m minus 1. And here you get an area, which is 6m squared plus 7m minus 5. But remember, we then need to take out the two square gardens, which is the 2m squared. So the area of the walkway is 4m squared plus 7m minus 5. So now 14, sorry, and this was a typo, not the area, but we're going to calculate the perimeter. So here, well, if this has 2 hash marks, z plus 2, then this section is also z plus 2. If this has 1 hash mark and it's z minus 1, so then this section is z minus 1. Then here, to get the total side lengths, well, that's z plus 2 plus z plus 2, which is 2z plus 4. Then here you've got z minus 1 plus another z minus 1, which gives you 2z minus 2. So now it's all about just combining like terms, right? You're adding up to get the perimeter, and you should get 8z plus 4. So now question number 15. This is just going back to dividing, right? Now notice we can use synthetic division, so we'll set it up and change the sign of the divisor. Now, do we need a 0? Yes, because notice how we're missing the x squared here. So we do need a 0. So our coefficients are 1, 6, then 0, then 1, negative 8. Now always, right, bring down the first term because there's nothing to multiply by. Now we multiply below the line. 1 times 1 is 1. And then always add above. You get 7. Multiply here, you get 7. Add, you get 7. Multiply again, you get 7. And add, you get 8. Multiply here, you get negative 8. So then here you'll get, oh, I'm sorry, not negative 8. That's just 1 times 8, which is 8. And here you get a remainder of 0. Remember here, our dividend started at x cubed, or x to the 4th. So now our answer here is going to start at x cubed, x squared, x, and our constant. So x cubed plus 7x squared plus 7x plus 8 because there is no remainder. Then question 16, this is just good old making sure we're good to go with our subtraction. So remember, right, when subtracting, we need to distribute the negative. So we are going to combine with 7v squared minus 4v, negative 5, plus 9v minus 3v cubed. Now, our answer needs to be in standard form. So v cubed or negative 3v cubed. Is there anything to combine? No. So I'll just bring it down. We combine anything with our v squared, 7v squared? No. So I'm going to bring that down. Now notice we do have two v terms, right? 9v minus 4v, which is 5v, and then negative 5. So now 17, here we're talking about creating a rectangular garden where the width is 2x plus 4 and the length is 3 feet longer than the width. So with my picture, I'll go ahead and state that this is 2x plus 4 feet because the length is 3 feet longer, which means what are we going to do? Add 3 to the width. So this is now 2x plus 7. What is the polynomial expression that represents the amount of fencing needed to surround the plot? So surrounding, right? Where does fencing go? Around. So what are we talking about? The perimeter. So all we have to do here, because we're looking for the fencing that goes around, is adding up all four sides. So we need 2x plus 7 here as well, 2x plus 4 here as well. Now we can combine. So this gives us 8x plus 18 feet for our perimeter. Not 18, sorry about that. I just realized I forgot a 4 here. Sorry. That's 14 plus 4, which is 18, but plus 4, which is 22. So 8x plus 22 feet. Now in number 18, after reading through here, calculate density, we're using this formula where it's mass divided by volume. Now mass is the 3x cubed expression here, and volume is 3x minus 2. So notice we're dividing 3x cubed minus 8x squared minus 5x plus 12 by volume, which is 3x minus 2. Now notice we can't do synthetic because of the coefficient of 3. We do have to do long division for this problem. So as we set it up, do we need a 0? No. So there are no missing terms. So here we go. Remember, right? First term, first term. 3 divided by 3 is just 1, and 1 less x, so now x squared. So when you multiply, they match up, but don't forget to multiply to the negative 2. So this is negative 2x squared. Then now what do? Change the signs of both terms because you're subtracting. Canceling out, and you get negative 6x squared. Bring down the next term, negative 5x. Here we go. New first term is negative 6 divided by 3, which is negative 2, 1 less x. So now when you multiply, you get negative 6x squared, but don't forget to multiply to the negative 2 here, giving you positive 4x. Then what do we have to do? Subtract, which means change the signs of both terms. So now you've got negative 9x. Bring down the plus 12. Last time now, divide the new first term, negative 9, by 3. Negative 9 by 3 is negative 3, 1 less x, so no x's here. X divided by x cancel out. So now when you multiply, these will match up, but we multiply negative 3 to the negative 2, which is positive 6. So now notice here, when we multiply, we change the signs, and so now here we end up with a remainder of 6. So it's x squared minus 2x minus 3 plus 6 over 3x minus 2 to represent your remainder. So now 19 and 20, again, going back to our angle relationships. Now we have vertical here. We're solving for x and y. Now notice, though, we set anything equal to each other? No, because notice how here our two x values are a linear pair. So they're not equal, right? They add up to equal 180. So combining like terms, 6x plus 30 is equal to 180. Now notice we're just solving a two-step here, right? And solving for x. So subtract 30, 6x is equal to 150. So now when you divide by 6, you should get 25. So same thing here. Are we going to set them equal to each other? No, they're not vertical. They're side by side, linear pair. They add up to 180. So 7y minus 23 is equal to 180, right? Combining like terms. Now we're going to solve our two-step. Add 23, you get 203. So now when you divide by 7, you get y is equal to 29. So now here, 20. We are solving for an angle, BED. BED. So we're solving for this angle here. But we need to figure out what x is. Well, what do you notice? These two angles are in the same spot, same position. They're corresponding, which means they're congruent or equal to each other. Now we're just solving our multi-step, right? So gather the variables, subtract 4x, and now we've got 3x minus 14 is equal to 19. Now you're just solving a two-step. Adding 14, you get 3x is equal to 33. Divide, you get x is equal to 11. Now, we're looking for this angle that is the linear pair here. So we'll go ahead and use this angle here. So 4 times 11, right? Because that's our x plus 19. So here we get an angle measure of 63 degrees. But remember, linear pair, which means they add up to 180. That's why the angle here is 117 degrees. So, and then here, going back to our good old transformations. Now notice to go from x to x prime, what did we do? We just changed the signs of both coordinates. So then here, 3, -2, -3, 2. Again, all we did was change the coordinates. So that's why this is a rotation of 180 degrees. So then here, k, -3, 5, and k prime 3, -5. So again, notice here, all we did was just change the signs of the coordinates. So again, rotation of 180 degrees. So now this last one, which expression represents the area of the figure? Well, area. Notice how we have area of a rectangle, which is here, length times width, right? So we've got the area of the rectangle, which is length times width. Now notice, this is not just 4x, because the 4x stops here. This is 4x plus the 3 feet. So this side represents 4x plus 3. But don't forget, that's just this side. Then you multiply by the other dimension, which is 4. That's how we get 4x plus 3 times 4 to represent the area of the rectangle. So I'm going to mark off A and C. So now we've got to figure out, well, how do we find the area of the triangles? So here, if you don't remember, area of a triangle, that is 1/2 times the base times height. So if I wanted to know the area of this one triangle here, well, that's 1/2 times the base of 3 times the height, which is x. So 1/2 times 3x. But technically, we have this triangle here as well, which is 1/2 times 3x. So technically, we have two of these. We have 2 1/2 times 3x. So now notice what happens. Well, what's 2 times 1/2? 1. Canceling out, and you're just left with 3x. That's why the answer is B, because there are two triangles, and if you were to combine, you end up getting 1. That's why it's D and not B. So if we wanted to know, let's say x is 2 feet, then what's the area? Then we can just now use this expression and plug in x by 2. So 4 times x, or 4 times 2 plus 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2. So here we've got 11 from 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 3, 11, times 4 plus 6 from 3 times 2. So 44 plus 6, giving you an area of 50 square